There are days when you wake up with fire inside you. Your mind is clear. Your body feels strong. Your goals appear close, and every step seems possible. On those days, you call yourself motivated. You believe you are ready to change your life. But then another day comes. You wake up tired. Your mind is heavy. The excitement is gone. The goal that once inspired you now feels distant. The work feels difficult. The bed feels comfortable. The excuses feel reasonable. And suddenly, the person who promised to transform his life begins negotiating with himself. I will start tomorrow. I need more energy. Why am I not in the right mood? This is where most people stop. They believe that because the feeling has disappeared, the path has also disappeared. They think action must come after inspiration. They wait for confidence before they move. They wait for energy before they work. They wait for the perfect moment before they begin. But the person who waits for motivation becomes a servant of emotion. And emotions are unstable. Motivation is like the weather. Some mornings are bright. Some afternoons are cloudy. Some nights are filled with storms. You cannot control every change in the sky, and you cannot build your life according to the weather of your mind. Discipline is different. Discipline does not ask how you feel. Discipline asks what must be done. Motivation says, I will do it when I feel ready. Discipline says, I will do it because I made a commitment. Motivation begins the journey. Discipline completes it. Many people admire strong individuals, but they only see the result. They see the calm face, the trained body, the successful career, the peaceful mind, the completed work, and the confident movement. They do not see the thousands of ordinary days behind that result. They do not see the mornings when the person did not want to rise. They do not see the hours of repetition. They do not see the boredom. They do not see the boredom. They do not see the silent battle between comfort and responsibility. Strength is not created only in moments of inspiration. Strength is created when the inspiration is absent, but the action continues. Anyone can work when they are excited. Anyone can train when they feel powerful. Anyone can study when the mind is interested. Anyone can remain committed when progress is visible. But who are you when nothing feels exciting? Who are you when the results are slow? Who are you when nobody is watching? Who are you when your mind gives you 100 reasons to stop? That is where your true character is revealed. Discipline is not punishment. It is not cruelty toward yourself. It is not forcing your body until it breaks. True discipline is the ability to guide yourself, even when part of you wants to move in another direction. Inside every person, there are different voices. One voice seeks comfort. One voice seeks growth. One voice wants immediate pleasure. One voice wants a meaningful future. One voice says, rest a little longer. Another says, remember your purpose. The strongest voice is not always the wisest one. Sometimes the voice of comfort speaks loudly, while the voice of discipline speaks quietly. You must learn to hear the quiet voice. Every time you choose the difficult action over the easy excuse, that voice becomes stronger. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your self-respect grows. Every time you delay pleasure for a greater purpose, your mind becomes more stable. Every time you continue despite discomfort, you prove that your emotions do not control your direction. This is why discipline creates freedom. At first, discipline feels like restriction. You must wake up at a certain time. You must train when you do not feel like training. You must control what you eat. You must reduce distractions. You must say no to certain pleasures. You must follow a routine. To an undisciplined mind, this appears like imprisonment. But look more deeply. The person who cannot control his habits is not free. The person who cannot stop scrolling is not free. The person who cannot wake up without pressing the alarm repeatedly is not free. The person who cannot control anger is not free. The person who cannot work without being inspired is not free. The person who is controlled by every impulse is not living freely. He is being pulled in different directions by desires, moods, and distractions. Discipline does not take away your freedom. Discipline gives your freedom back. It allows you to decide where your time goes. It allows you to choose what kind of body you build. It allows you to choose what kind of mind you develop. It allows you to choose what kind of future you create. Without discipline, your life is shaped by accident. With discipline, your life is shaped by intention. Many people say, I know I should do. But knowledge without action changes nothing. You may know that you should exercise. You may know that you should study. You may know that you should study. You may know that you should save money. You may know that you should control your anger. You may know that you should leave a destructive habit. You may know that you should begin the work you have been avoiding. But knowing the path is not the same as walking the path. A person may stand before a mountain and understand every route to the top. He may study the maps, watch the climbers, and speak about the journey. But if he never takes the first step, his knowledge becomes another form of avoidance. Discipline converts knowledge into movement. It transforms intention into action. It turns dreams into routines. It takes the image in your mind and gives it a form in reality. You do not become disciplined by waiting to feel disciplined. You become disciplined by practicing discipline. Begin with one action. Wake up when the alarm rings. Make your bed. Sit in silence for a few minutes. Complete the most important task before touching your phone. Train for 20 minutes. Read a few pages. Keep one promise. The action may appear small, but the meaning is not small. Each action sends a message to your mind. The message is, I am the one who decides. The mind learns through repetition. If you repeatedly surrender to excuses, surrender becomes your habit. If you repeatedly delay action, delay becomes your identity. If you repeatedly choose comfort, comfort becomes your master. But if you repeatedly act with discipline, discipline becomes natural. At first, the path feels difficult because the old habits resist. The body resists waking early. The mind resists concentration. The emotions resist concentration. This resistance does not mean you are on the wrong path. It often means you are leaving a familiar path. A river follows the same direction because the ground has been shaped by years of movement. Your habits are similar. Your actions have created pathways inside you. When you try to change, the mind wants to return to what is known. Do not become angry with yourself. Do not expect transformation in one day. Be patient, but remain firm. The tree does not grow by pulling its branches. It grows because its roots receive water every day. In the same way, your character grows through repeated action, not dramatic action, not perfect action, consistent action. This is one of the great mistakes people make. They want a powerful beginning. They create an extreme routine. They promise to wake up before sunrise, train for 2 hours, read 50 pages, meditate, work without distraction, and change every habit at once. For a few days, they feel unstoppable. Then the energy falls. The routine becomes too heavy. They miss one day, then another, and soon they return to the beginning. This happens because they were building their life on intensity rather than consistency. Intensity can impress people. Consistency transforms people. You do not need to prove your strength by doing everything today. Prove your strength by returning tomorrow. A single hard workout does not build a strong body. A single productive day does not build a successful life. A single peaceful morning does not build a calm mind. Transformation comes from returning to the practice again and again. You may not notice the change at first. A disciplined day may look ordinary. You wake up, you work, you train, you control your distractions. You complete your responsibilities, you rest. Nothing dramatic happens. But beneath the surface, something is being built. Your attention becomes stronger. Your excuses become weaker. Your confidence becomes real. Your identity begins to change. You no longer say, I am trying to become disciplined. You begin to understand, I am a person who does what must be done. This identity is powerful because it is not created by words. It is created by evidence. Every completed task is evidence. Every resisted temptation is evidence. Every promise kept is evidence. Every difficult morning you overcome is evidence. You start trusting yourself, and self-trust is one of the greatest forms of power. Many people do not lack ability. They lack trust in themselves because they have broken too many promises to themselves. They say, we'll begin on Monday. Monday comes, and they delay. They say, tomorrow I will wake up early. Tomorrow comes, and they sleep. They say, this time I will remain consistent. Then the first discomfort arrives, and they stop. Each broken promise weakens the relationship between the mind and the will. After some time, even your own words lose meaning to you. You make a plan, but deep inside, you do not believe you will follow it. Discipline repairs this relationship. You do not repair it through a grand declaration. You repair it through small, honest action. Do not promise 10 things. Promise one thing and complete it. Do not create a routine designed to impress others. Create a routine you can respect. Do not measure yourself only by how much you achieve. Measure yourself by how often you remain true to your commitment. There will be failure. There will be days when you lose focus. There will be moments when the old habits return. Do not use one mistake as permission to destroy all your progress. The undisciplined mind often thinks in extremes. If I cannot do everything, I will do nothing. If I miss the morning, the whole day is wasted. If I broke the routine once, I have failed. This thinking is another excuse. Discipline does another excuse. Discipline does not mean never falling. Discipline means returning quickly. When you fall, stand. When you become distracted, return. When you miss one day, begin again the next day. Do not turn a small mistake into a new identity. A cloud does not become the entire sky. One difficult day does not become your entire life. Return to the path. The path does not reject you. Your greatest enemy is often not laziness. It is negotiation. You know what must be done, but you begin discussing it with your mind. Maybe later. You can do twice as much tomorrow. The longer the negotiation continues, the weaker your decision becomes. Learn to reduce the distance between decision and action. When the alarm rings, rise. When it is time to train, begin. When the work is in front of you, start. Do not give the excuse time to grow. A small excuse is like a spark. If you act quickly, it disappears. If you feed it with thought, it becomes a fire that consumes the entire day. The disciplined person is not someone who never hears excuses. He is someone who does not obey them. Your mind may say, "Why am tired?" You can answer, "I will begin gently." Your mind may say, "This is difficult." You can answer, "Difficulty is part of the training." Your mind may say, "Why am I not motivated?" You can answer, "Motivation is not required." This does not mean ignoring genuine exhaustion, pain, or illness. Wisdom is necessary. Rest can be disciplined. Recovery can be disciplined. Slowing down can be disciplined. The difference lies in honesty. Are you resting because your body needs recovery, or because your mind wants escape? Are you changing the plan because the plan is harmful, or because the plan is harmful? Are you being patient with yourself, or are you hiding from responsibility? Only you know the truth. Discipline requires honesty because excuses often wear the clothes of logic. The mind is intelligent. It can create convincing reasons for avoiding what is necessary. It can call fear timing. It can call laziness self-care. It can call distraction. It can call delay preparation. A thought is not a command. An emotion is not a direction. A desire is not a duty. You can experience discomfort without escaping it. You can feel fear without obeying it. You can feel tired and still take one step. You can lack confidence and still begin. This is the difference between the immature mind and the trained mind. The immature mind says, "I feel, therefore I must act." The trained mind says, "I feel, but I will choose." That moment of choice is where discipline lives. You do not need to control the entire future. Control this moment. You do not need to complete the entire journey today. Take the next step. You do not need to defeat every weakness at once. Defeat the weakness that is standing in front of you now. When you think about the whole mountain, the climb appears impossible. When you look only at the next stone, movement becomes simple. Discipline is built in the present, not tomorrow. Not next month. Not when life becomes easier. Now. The present moment is the only place where action exists. The past contains lessons. The future contains possibilities. But the present contains power. Ask yourself, what is the next correct action? Not the most impressive action. The next correct action. Then do it without waiting for applause. Do it when nobody understands. Do it when nobody encourages you. Do it when nobody the result is invisible. The seed does not stop growing because the ground is dark. It continues its work beneath the surface. Your discipline may also remain invisible for a long time. People may not notice the hours you are investing. They may not understand why you refuse certain distractions. They may laugh at your routine. They may question your choices. Let them. The person who needs constant approval cannot remain disciplined for long. Some days, people will support you. Other days, they will distract you. If your direction depends on their opinion, your path will keep changing. Learn to walk without noise. You do not need to announce every goal. You do not need to explain every sacrifice. You do not need to show every step. Protect your energy. Work quietly. Allow the result to speak later. But do not become attached only to results. Results are not always immediate, and sometimes they are not fully under your control. You can control your effort. You can control your preparation. You can control your attention. You can control whether you return to the practice. This is where your discipline must remain. The farmer cannot command the rain, but he can prepare the soil. He cannot force the seed to grow in one night, but he can water it. He cannot control every season, but he can remain faithful to the work. Your life is similar. Do not become weak because the outcome is slow. Do not abandon the field because the harvest has not appeared. Continue preparing the soil. Continue watering the seed. Continue becoming the person capable of carrying the result. Sometimes the goal is delayed because you are not yet ready to hold it. Discipline prepares you. It strengthens the body that must carry responsibility. It sharpens the mind that must make decisions. It develops the patience that success requires. It gives you the stability to remain grounded when life changes. Without discipline, even success can destroy a person. He may gain money but lack control. He may gain attention but lose peace. He may gain power but become a servant of ego. Discipline is not only the road to achievement. It is the structure that allows you to hold achievement without losing yourself. The goal is not to become a machine. The goal is to become awake. To know what you are doing. To know why you are doing it. To recognize when your mind is creating excuses. To recognize when your body needs recovery. To recognize when your ego wants praise. To recognize when fear is controlling your choices. Discipline without awareness becomes rigidity. Awareness without discipline becomes passivity. You need both. You need the clarity to see the right path and the discipline to walk it. Remember that the strongest person is not the one who controls others. The strongest person is the one who can control himself. He can control his reaction when insulted. He can control his attention when distracted. He can control his speech when angry. He can control his habits when tempted. He can control his actions when motivation disappears. This kind of strength is quiet. It does not need to prove itself. It does not need to dominate. It does not need to be seen. It is present in the way a person rises after failure. It is present in the way he keeps his word. It is present in the way he remains calm under pressure. It is present in the way he chooses long-term peace over short-term pleasure. Ask yourself what kind of person you are training yourself to become. Every action is training yourself. When you delay, you train delay. When you complain, you train complaint. When you blame others, you train helplessness. When you face discomfort, you train courage. When you complete the task, you train reliability. When you return after failure, you train resilience. You are always practicing something. The question is whether you are practicing strength or weakness. Your future is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built through what you repeatedly practice. A disciplined life does not begin when you feel powerful. It begins when you stop waiting to feel powerful. Stand up. Begin the task. Take the step. Not because you are excited. Not because the path is easy. Not because success is guaranteed. Begin because you have decided that your temporary emotions will no longer control your permanent direction. Motivation may visit you. Welcome it when it comes. Use its energy. But do not depend on it. When motivation leaves, let discipline remain. When excitement fades, let commitment remain. When the road becomes quiet, let your footsteps continue. One day you will look back and realize that the strongest moments of your life were not the moments when you felt unstoppable. They were the moments when you wanted to stop, but you continued. That is how the weak mind becomes strong. That is how confusion becomes clarity. That is how intention becomes character. And that is how an ordinary person builds an extraordinary life. Do not ask whether you feel motivated today. Ask whether you are willing to keep your word. Then become silent. Take the next step. and continue.